Hello, my loves. My name is Demetra Douglas. I am a shaman. I am a witch. I am a starseed. I am a master numerologist. I am just an overall high consciousness, high frequency spiritual entity. Okay. Today, I want to take a minute to talk to you about starseed, consciousness conversion, and consciousness expansion, and what exactly that looks like. Now, this is very interesting. When we're talking about starseeds being placed on this planet, we are speaking typically of beings who have volunteered to come to Earth to assist in elevation of consciousness, expansion of consciousness, and ascension for this planet. But there's also another side of that, and that could also be simply a being being given the opportunity to come here to experience so that it can grow. Earth has certain expectations, certain rules, specifically interpersonal expectations and rules that aren't necessarily present on other planets or star systems or universes. Other places aren't as, and this is interesting to say because Earth is horrific from many perspectives, right? But there's also, on a surface level, rule of law, interpersonally speaking, that maintains an order that is not necessarily present on other planets or star systems or universes. Other places have better order, right? Better interpersonal or relational circumstances, right? Higher frequency, higher vibration. But others are much, much worse. Much, much worse, okay? So Earth is a school, and beings come from all over the cosmos to come experience school here. Now, when I speak of conversion of consciousness, if you're familiar with me, first of all, and my numerology work, I speak of individual numeric frequencies, which range from really 10 to 19, but more so 11 to 19. 10's more so a moment than an enduring frequency. But this is speaking of the different layers of consciousness or expansion of consciousness as you ascend and gain higher frequency and higher consciousness, okay? This correlates. If you understand what the numbers mean and the order of these realms, and if you want to know more about that, watch my content. I talk about it in length and have many, many times, or read my book. But we are talking about expansion of consciousness. Now, when you talk about 1D, for example, you're talking about the beginning of this, right? Someone's still trying to figure out being in the physical body, okay? Versus someone in 2D energy, which is more so figuring out the rules interpersonally. Okay, I've more so mastered being in this physical body, but what are the expectations as far as what I'm expected to do or how I'm expected to treat others? Okay. When we get to 3D, for example, we are more so focusing on manifesting. How do I manifest in this world and really create a reality that I'm trying to create? And then we get to 4D and we're talking about really honing in on the mind and the awareness levels, okay, and so on and so forth. 5D would be more so focusing on karmic matters, okay? What's keeping me stuck and how do I break free from it, right? These relationships are causing me discomfort or harm. Why? What's going on there? So on and so forth. And as we ascend higher, we have different lessons. We have different layers of awareness and consciousness that need to be attained. But what's making me do this video is I actually encountered a 1D consciousness Saturnian entity last night. And it was very interesting, very interesting. Watching them in their body was almost like watching something from Men in Black. Watching something that is completely new to the Earth experience. And this was a grown woman, right? 3D, physical, touchable, right? Born just like you and I. But this is a starseed. And this is a starseed that is still working on consciousness conversion and hasn't even initiated expansion of consciousness yet. This is clearly her first go around here on Earth. Or one of the first, right? Very new to this earthly experience, still trying to figure it out. Okay. Versus other star seeds. And this is important. This is why I want to talk about conversion of consciousness, because Saturnian beings, right? And her, by the way, her wallpaper on her cell phone was a picture of Saturn. Okay. I immediately looked at this being and I said, this being is a starseed, not from this planet. Their essence is not native to this space. And I was watching them like the reptilian energy I possess, right? Clinical, baby. I was watching, I was so observant, and it was like watching a movie. It was so interesting, absorbing all of the knowledge I could. But comparing that to someone like me, who is a more experienced starseed, it's not to say more advanced, because where she's from, I guarantee she's highly advanced. She knows how to navigate Saturnian waters. Earth waters are different, right? Earth waters are different. When you talk about Saturnian, that's restrictive. That's non-emotional. It's just very, and then coming here and being expected to be compassionate, be be personable, right? Very interesting. But when we talk about these things, right? I've been here many times, many times, and looking at someone who is just getting started was very intriguing to me. Very intriguing to me. And I was grateful for the opportunity. I listened to her speak as much as I could. And just the way she spoke, what she spoke about, how she spoke about things was very 1D. It was very 1D. It was void of compassion and spoke volumes of her trying to figure it out. It was very interesting. Very interesting. Right? How she spoke about what she observes, right, was very interesting. It was like a new little baby. It was very interesting. But I just wanted to share this insight, As starseeds coming from other places doesn't necessarily mean we're immediately more advanced when we come to Earth. Quite the opposite. We could be brand new and learning from Earth beings. Or we can have beautiful things to teach Earth beings. It's very much a give and take. But just something I wanted to share. Take care.